Hello and welcome. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Georgie from Healing Moons, and today we are going to be looking at or talking about Samhain, which is more widely known as Halloween. And as you can possibly see, I've got my little furry co-host joining us today. So Samhain is the new year for us pagans. As you've probably gathered by now, I think I'm firmly out of the broom closet, so to speak. So this is the start of the new year for us, as it represents the one full turn of the seasons and is the beginning for the next year, seasonally speaking. It's also the last of the 3 main harvest sabbats as well. And Halloween, as you'll know, is on the 31st of October. It's also, from a pagan standpoint, it's also observed on the 7th of November for us. So I personally end up celebrating it for that period in between, starting from the 31st of October going through into the 7th of November. And it's a time to honour the dead, for those our loved ones who have passed, and to hold space and to acknowledge the role that they still play within our lives, the way that they've impacted us, and to honour them with our memories. It can be done by ritual if that's something that you're into practicing. It's also a good time to be communing with the dead as well, because the veils between our world and the spirit world is at its thinnest around this time. So you may also find that if you do divination work, then that will be heightened at this time as well. So traditionally, as you'll know from what you see around anyway, jack-o'-lanterns are a big thing at this time. You can also use cider and garlands and things like that. They're all included they can be included in the ritual work and family celebrations as well. It's also a time for baking. That's something that's traditionally done at Samhain, whether that be your pumpkin pies, pumpkin bread, soups, all things like that, because you'd be using up the perishables as well from the fruits and vegetables and things that you've harvested in a traditional sense. You'd also use black candles at this time to ward off negativity, and you can put your decorations up from sort of around the 1st of October if you're decorating, so that sort of go up then. If you wanted to, then you can also make a wreath for this time of year as well, for Samhain. And traditionally you can, and I've seen some people hang it on their front door, but from a traditional pagan standpoint you would hang it on the wall above your altar, and you can decorate it with things like feathers, it's kind of like a theme of ravens, mini broomsticks, orange feathers, those sorts of things that you'd include on it, and obviously ribbons and other bits and pieces that you may find appropriate at this time as well. Also at this time, when we're carrying on with the theme of honouring the dead, you can, if it's something that we do in my household as well, but if you set a place for those who have passed, you can, if you want to, you can put out a small portion of food on the plate as well. But if you set a place for them, putting out food is optional, but it's a way of kind of honouring that they're they're welcome and can come through at this time to visit. Traditionally, when you place a candle in the window, because a lot of people will put like the jack-o'-lanterns out the front and things like that, it started off that you'd put a candle or something similar in a window, and it's to guide the spirits of our loved ones home. So it's acting like a lighthouse in the dark, shining through the veil to guide them back home. So that's where that, from a pagan standpoint, where it comes from traditionally. And also when it comes to the fancy dress costumes that we all wear these days for Halloween, traditionally they were made and worn to disguise ourselves if we were to go out around this time, so that we weren't followed home by restless spirits that weren't a part of our family and kind of didn't belong with us as a family unit. And plus the fact, if anything else were to come through at this time other than just spirits, then it kind of deters them from coming back with you if you were to go out. That's where it originates from. So, and this is also a cross-quarter sabbat, and this is due to its placement between the solstices, because the solstices mark the change in seasons. So around spring, summer, autumn, and then winter. So they're our main solstices that we acknowledge and celebrate the change in seasons. And because it's in between those, it's one of the cross-quarter sabbats. I have no idea what that was. Something else that I like to do at this time, I will put a candle in the window, but I'll also almost create a little shrine. So I'll put a candle out, and then I'll also put photos of my past loved ones near it, to kind of, I'll only do it for that week from the 31st of October through until the 7th of November. But it's, for me personally, it's just as a mark of respect and to also acknowledge those that have passed, whether they're people that I've been close to or members of my family, and to just remember the good times as well. So yeah, it's just a little something that I personally like to do at this time as well. I know this has been a bit of a short one this week, but this is quite new for me, because I haven't been openly pagan for very long, although it's something that I've practiced for as long as I can remember. So actually sharing this information with the world is quite strange. But I wanted to do this for you and just give you a little bit of information about where it comes from and the tradition behind it. I'm sorry for all the breaks in the video. I keep having brain farts. Brain is just going blank. But no, in summary, it is a pagan New Year. So all about new beginnings and letting go of the old, and very much for me, I find on an energetic level, it's a time to let go of what hasn't been serving me or what no longer fits for the life that I'm wanting to create and bring in. So it's very much about clearing away the old. I have a tendency to have a bit of a clear out at this time, whether that be physically, energetically, anything like that. And yeah, it's all about honouring the dead, and obviously this is when the veil is the thinnest between the two worlds. And I hope that you've enjoyed this. I think I'm going to leave it there, and I will catch you all soon. Obviously, if you're enjoying these, then please give me a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't, and I will catch up with you all soon. Love and light, take care, bye.